All right, so today you are going to be learning 13-2, converting customary units of capacity. So today we've already learned about customary units of length, which were inches, feet, and yards. When we talk about capacity, we will be talking about cups down here. We'll be talking about pints and quarts. First, I would like you to learn about the land of G. So I would like you to watch this video and then continue on with our video. So I want you to draw this chart with me. Make sure it's in your spiral. So what we learned about was gallon land, or the land of G. So we have a great big G. That's the biggest form of measuring capacity. And in gallon land, there were 4 queens, which the Q's that stand for the 4 queens also stand for 4 quarts are in a gallon. Okay, and then each one of those 4 queens had a prince and a princess. So each quart has 2 pints. Then each of the princes and princesses had 2 children, which stands for each pint has 2 cups. So what we know from the land of G is that 1 gallon, or the land of G, is equal or has 4 quarts. You should be writing this with me, please. Each quart has 8, or all 4 quarts have 8 pints, and all of the gallon has 16 cups. So if you counted all of these little C's, the children, it makes up 16 cups, and that makes up 1 gallon. One last thing I want you to write down is the exact same thing that you learned today. If we are going from larger to smaller, do you remember what we do? We multiply. Then if we go smaller to larger, we divide. So think about our hug type thing we did in class today. Larger to smaller, multiply. Smaller to larger, divide. An example of larger to smaller would be, if you want to write an example, would be quarts down to changing them to cups. And smaller to larger would be cups and going to gallons. So it's very good for you to know about the land of G, and we're going to watch it several times, because on a test, it's great to be able to draw this land of G and draw your 4 quarts, draw your prince and your princess for each quart, and then their 2 children, because it basically tells you everything you need to know about gallons, quarts, pints, and cups. So I'm gonna do a couple examples with you. You can try about 2 questions on here, and then we'll talk about it in class tomorrow, but I just wanted to get you exposed to it. But keep coming back to this page. You also have it written down in your spiral so you can look at it yourself, but I'm gonna keep referring back to this page that we're on right now. So we're gonna go ahead and try one. First, I'm sorry, I have to tell you about one thing I did not talk about. One thing I forgot to tell you about is that each child has 8, and I'm going to draw this in a different color so you can definitely see it. Each child has 8 favorite songs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What those stand for, each child has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can do that on all of them. I'm not going to, but I'm going to show you. Those stand for 8 fluid ounces in 1 cup. So each child has 8 favorite songs, and those stand for 8 fluid ounces in 1 cup. So the smallest you can go is ounces, fluid ounces, and the biggest you can go is gallons. So let's try some converting. Okay, so on this problem, I want you all to write it down. 10 pints and we're trying to convert it into quarts. So we're going to do the exact same thing that I taught you today. First, we're going from pints to quarts. So we have to figure out if we're going from bigger to smaller or smaller to bigger. So pints to quarts, I'm going to look back. Here's my pints, and I'm going to quarts. So I'm going smaller to bigger. So if I go smaller to bigger or smaller to larger, I divide. I take that 10 down, and then I have to ask myself the tricky question. How many quarts are in a pint, or how many pints are in a quart? Which one can I do? Well, I have to say how many pints are in a quart. Here's my quart, and there's 2 pints. So I have to use the number 2. 10 divided by 2. So 10 pints is equal to 5 quarts, because 10 divided by 2 is 5. Let's try another one. All right, now I would like you to try this one together still. 48 fluid ounces, and I want to change this to cups. Remember, fluid ounces is the littlest you can go. So we're going from little to big, so we have to divide. Drop down my 48, and then I ask myself the tricky question. How many ounces is in 1 cup? Well, remember, how many favorite songs did that child have? 8. So I say 48 divided by 8 is 6. So 48 fluid ounces equals to 6 cups. And remember, you can always go back to this picture to help you out. So it's a lot like what we did today, just different labeling. And we are measuring capacity, not length. So I want you to try one on your own. Actually, I'll have you try 2 on your own, and then you will be done for the night, and we will pick up where we left off tomorrow when you come to class. Actually, I lied. Let's do one harder one, and I just did air quotes. I hope you knew that. So this is the harder one, and then I'll just have you do one example by yourself. Okay, so right now I have 4 quarts and 1 pint. I want to change it all to pints. Remember, if these 2 are the exact same, I just keep this, and I have to remember him for later. So now I have to change my 4 quarts into pints. So am I going greater or bigger to smaller or smaller to bigger? Well, if I look back, I have quarts and I'm going down to pints. So I am going larger to smaller, which means I multiply. So I know I have to do 4 times something. So I say, how many pints are in a quart? Well, there's a prince and a princess in each quart, so 2. 4 times 2 is 8. But don't forget this one. 8 plus 1 is 9. So 4 quarts and 1 pint is equal to 9 pints. All right, I'm letting you go on your own. I'm going to let you try 2. I know I said 1, but I'll give you a easy and a hard one. So the easy one is 5 gallons is equal to how many cups? Remember, ask yourself, am I going bigger to smaller to bigger? Then I take down that 5, and then how many cups are in a gallon, or how many gallons are in a cup, whatever one you can do. Okay, now the harder, air quotes, not really hard, it just makes you think a little more, is 1 gallon, and 1 cup is equal to Ooh, I don't like that one. I'm sorry. I'm lying to you. I don't like that one. Okay, let's do 4 quarts. I lied again. I swear this is right this time. Okay, 4 pints, 3 cups equals how many cups? All right, go ahead and try those two. Put them into the quiz question answers, and I will put in the right answers here in a minute, and then I will see you tomorrow. I hope you got the hang of this a little bit, and it's not much different than what we did in class today. See you tomorrow. So this answer you should got an 80, and this answer should have been 11. Hope you got those right, and I will see you.